I did a thing. Anyway, greetings everyone. Welcome back to Blade Bias. Today I want to tell you about a plastic balisong that you should keep your eye on. A few months ago, I made a video on this, the NYBC or New York Bali Customs Sankaku, I think is what the actual name ended up being. I believe it was a different name when I made the review, but the designer has since changed the name to the Sankaku. Sankaku is, I believe, the spelling. And this was a really decent little smaller maker getting into the scene with a plastic balisong that I actually really enjoyed. It kind of reminiscent of like the old Tay flipper that I still enjoy so much to this day. And a few weeks ago, I was reached out to by the maker of this to say, hey, we gave the Sankaku a big facelift. And a big facelift, box wouldn't open, they did. Let me introduce you to the Sankaku Pro, I guess, the updated, new and improved model of the Sankaku from NYBC Bali Customs. Now, I'll forgive you for saying that it looks like a palette. That was actually my first impression as well. Thankfully, it's not a direct clone, especially in how it flips. The palette has all of that metal in there, and this current version does not. This still retains that kind of light, less dense, more airy feeling plastic balisong, kind of like the original Tay flipper did. But now, as you can see, in a much more refined package, slimmer handles and better geometry and smaller handle gap and all of that stuff. And it makes the flipping experience much, much better. Now, you'll have to forgive me because this is a kind of early development sample. The designer has told me that this will change a bit. There's a bunch of feedback that he's been working with other balisong people on. So this isn't the final version, and because of that, I'm not going to give you like a detailed breakdown on what makes this so good or so bad or anything like that. I'm not going to give you like a full evaluation like I typically would. I'll save that for when the full version hopefully comes out. But I do want to make this video to at least say, hey, keep your eye out. If this is something that you're interested in this video, maybe it's something that you're interested in picking up when it does fully release. And you can find all the details for that when it does, I'm sure, on the NYBC Instagram page. I don't think there's been like an official announcement post of this, but I believe that you might have seen like Flippin' Rabbit on Instagram flipping this, I think is who he said he was working with as well, and sent one of these. So it's just a cool little balisong. I mean, I really do have to give it to them. The facelift here is pretty insane. Again, this isn't the final sample that you will receive if you eventually order one, but just the level of improved flipping here, and I was already quite impressed with the original model. Like it wasn't perfect, but it did flip well. This really does rein in a lot of the complaints that I had with it, such as the kind of wonky proportions and the weird fans and the kind of strange momentum. And it does still have a tiny bit of that, but again, I'm not here to give you like the full pros and cons list because it's not a full it's not a full prototype. It's not a full finished product. It is more of a prototype, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on. If you're looking for like the palette, but if it was mixed with the original Tay flipper, this is kind of your guy, at least in its current form. It's definitely got more of that airy feel. It's not super dense, like there's a bunch of metal in it. It's light. It is very easy to move around, and it carries a surprising amount of momentum for what it is, much like the original Sankaku. It really does just kind of, if this is something that you own especially, and you enjoy it, this really does feel like a refinement in pretty much every single way. And I do really, really enjoy it. Now, NYBC Bali Customs did send this to me for free. Not even to make a video, but just to like provide feedback on. I am making a video because I think this is something that my audience might be interested in. For a while, I was the plastic guy. I was the guy making videos on a bunch of plastic balisongs. So definitely something to keep on your radar if you're interested. If you're looking for something kind of like the palette, but less dense and less metally. The palette is still my favorite flipping plastic balisong by far. Like, this isn't dethroning it by any means, but it does give you an alternative to it that's a little lighter. It's still just as customizable. At least I hope it will be when it eventually comes out. It's just an enjoyable flipping experience. I mean, you've probably seen this thing in the background of a good number of my videos at this point, because it has been sitting on my desk and I have been giving it some good flipping time. I do like it. I like the changes that they made here. And I personally am very, very excited to see what the final product ends up looking like when there's a few changes implemented from myself and others in the community. So if it's something that you're interested in, go give the NYBC New York Bali Customs Instagram page a follow. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to NYBC for sending this thing out so that I can give it a little test. And I will see you all in the next one. Later.